Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video I'm going to go through my watch list and transfer plans for game week 35. I'm going to look at some of those players that I've got my eye on before the deadline, which is only a few days away. So as always, if you enjoy this content, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And in the meantime, let's take a look. Here is how my game week 34 is panning out so far. So to understand what my transfer plans and who I'm looking at, we need to look at my current side. It's obviously a double game week, so a lot of these players are still yet to play their second game. 11 double game week is in, and it's been a good week so far. Haaland's on 24 because I have activated my triple captain chip. So that's looked to be a decent option so far. The only other one possibly would have been Rashford. I know people have gone to. So Haaland just tipping over the balance of that at the moment. We'll have to see how they get on in the second game. You would assume, or I don't know, can I take a punt and say that West Ham, it is, isn't it? West Ham is a better fixture at home than maybe Brighton away, especially at the moment. And I've got those three Brighton players to play as well. Matoma and McAllister rested for that first game. I'm hoping that's just a rest, and they are hopefully going to come in and start the next one. Who else gets rested? We'll just have to wait and see. Trent not getting any clean sheets, but picking up, I think it's a third match in a row, picking up an assist. My only transfer that I made last round was that Edison came in and Raya went out. That looks like a decent decision so far, especially Raya didn't pick up anything really in the first game, lost his clean sheet. Edison's got another game to go, and even beyond that, that looks like a decent option. No one on my bench has performed well, so it was good. Southampton scoring 8 in Newcastle was good for me because I had double Newcastle defence on the bench, and Isaac chipped in with a goal involvement as well. Ward, they have played their game. He didn't get a clean sheet, obviously, so I didn't update that. It doesn't affect my score and my points. So looking at that then, and how I shape up for game week 35, my rank 496k. You know what? I've got 7 or is it 8 out of 9 green arrows so far in the last 9 weeks. So that's really good. I kind of console myself. It's nowhere near the rank I want to be. 20k last year, way off the pace this year, but was worse. And I like to think it is more sort of in the top 4-5%. That makes it sound much better. So I've got money in the bank, free transfer to make. Who do I go for? Looking at the side for game week 34, it looks pretty decent. I wouldn't mind. I'm not saying this is my final 11 or who I'm going to captain, though I think Haaland has to be the obvious choice. Isaac possibly would come in, and then who would I drop out? It might be sure. McAllister is a worry because now Cisco's playing a more advanced role. He's sort of taken that CEM slot, so McAllister's moved back. Veltman's back though, so possibly he comes in at right back. Gross goes back into midfield on Casado. Because does Casado get a rest? And March didn't get a rest, whereas Matoma and McAllister did. A lot of rotation going on. Very difficult to see what's going to happen that. So McAllister, I'm a bit concerned at. He is still popping out the sort of shots and getting key passes in though. We'll have to wait and see. Estepinian, you feel that he possibly will get a rest at some point, though who will come in for, I'm not sure. Trippier in that case will have to come in because I've got to play 3 defenders. So the players on my watch list for game week 35, talking about McAllister, I don't know whether I'm going to roll my transfer or whether this is a possibility. McAllister is playing a much deeper role because in Cisco's come on, it feels a little bit knee-jerk because he has got those 3 assists in the last game, and his stats in the last 4 games I think have been pretty amazing. Started the last 3, including the FA Cup semi-final. Dead cheap, so that does release some funds for me, and the fact he's got a double in 36, a double in 37 just looks so appealing. The fact he's had a big rest at the start of the season, he's not played a lot of football, perhaps means that he won't get rotated as much, and he does tend to come off before the sort of 80th minute mark as well. But his XGI looks absolutely brilliant. And so he's a player that I could. It feels a bit of a sideways movement. And it would be McAllister that would come out. So he's got 8 shots in the last 3. 5 key passes, as we know. And those 1 goal, 3 assists. And those 3 assists all come in the last game. And the fact that he's team selected by, his actual ownership at the moment is 1.2. So basically no one owns him. So bringing him in is a huge differential. The only player I could bring him in for, I don't think I'd rest Matoma. McAllister is on pens, and even though he's playing deeper, he's still getting lots of shots off. Not sure to have a shot. And Cisco feels like a knee-jerk reaction, and it feels I don't know, very sideways. If I've got a transfer to burn, and I probably feel like I do, he could be an option to bring in. So Cisco's there. Do I need to do it for Everton? I don't know. And the one thing I will say is that they do have this match against Manchester United tomorrow evening at a time of recording. Tomorrow evening, probably the time you're watching this, it'll be in the evening. So actually, I will know a bit more information about where's McAllister playing, and is Enciso keeping his place for that Man United game. So that'll be interesting. So Enciso, one to keep an eye on for me. The other one is Chilwell. I've got lots of double game week players coming up. Newcastle got a double. Brighton have already got 3. I've already got 3 Newcastle. Man United got a double. Got 3 of their players. Arsenal do have a double. It's not a great double, and they're not playing very well as we've seen. They've scored something like 1 in the last 4 or 5 games. Chilwell's an option. I'm not sure how seriously I'm taking him though. This is interesting. Now, Jota, 17 appearances this season. He's got 5 goals, 4 assists, decent XGI, and he's starting a lot of games. His fixtures look pretty decent. There are no doubles, so that does put me off. The fact that he's a striker is interesting as well, because I don't feel I've got many midfield slots to play with. 8.9 is a bit pricey, but as we see, he started 6 out of 7. He's got 14 shots. He's getting shots off and about. The stats look good. 7 goal involvements in the last 7 games. And again, his ownership is really low. The fact that he doesn't take up a midfield slot, I actually like. Watkins could come out for Jota, but I would need to raise some extra funds elsewhere, which would sort of tell me that rolling a transfer this week is possibly a good idea. If I didn't go Jota, the other option is Cody Gakpo. 7.7, he's a midfielder. Again, recently his stats look great. Overall, XGI of 0.54, pretty decent. And a Liverpool side that have won 4 on a trot. He's got Brentford, Villa at home, Leicester, Southampton away. They're all decent fixtures, you'd have to say. And in terms of what he offers, I think in the last 5, that's right, he's got 14 shots. That's a lot of shots. Playing very advanced, 4 key passes, 5 goal involvements in the last 5 games. Liverpool look pretty free-flowing. They're not keeping many clean sheets, but they are scoring a lot of goals. So those are the players that I could look at. Looking at my side, I don't know if there's anyone I really want to take out. That's the problem. Grealish and Man City have got the double game week coming up. So I definitely want 3 Man City, and I've got them. I've got double game week for Brighton. I need 3 of their players. They're in. Liverpool would have that double. Oh, I'm sorry, they don't have the double, but Trent just looks like a good option at the moment. Man United have got 3 of their players, and I've also got 3 Newcastle players. So actually, I'm maxed out for pretty much all the double game weeks. I've got them all covered. The only team that I haven't got covered, Chelsea. But again, I don't really know if there's any assets that I want to really go for. It's got 1 and 4, no attacking options. And that midfield looks really good. So if I did want to go for Gakpo, who would I take out? I just don't think there's anyone out there. I don't want to take a Brighton player out because they've got 2 extra fixtures for Liverpool. The only player out of that side that I potentially wouldn't mind taking out is possibly Ollie Watkins, and that would invite Jota into the side. That's a possibility. If there was a striker that was playing regularly and scoring for Chelsea, that would be great, but there just isn't. And it's very difficult. I wouldn't go for Darwin just because I don't think he's got the minutes either. And I've already maxed out on Newcastle players, as we have said. So the other option would be just making a sideways move from McAllister to Enciso. But let's see how they line up against Man United. In fact, if McAllister and him start, which position? You can't imagine Enciso, if he's going to start, he has to play CAM. But then does Gross, Caicedo, McAllister, how does he fit them all in? Does Caicedo get a rest, which means he'll be back for the weekend? It feels like there's a lot of variables going on there, and I'm just a little bit worried. Enciso's only started 3. They've been pretty impressive last game. Does he just keep that? Where does McAllister go? And he's still on pens as well. So I think the odds are on the moment are just rolling a transfer, but quite a lot could happen before the end of this game week that could determine what I do. That's it for this one then. Let me know in the comments below what your transfer plans are for game week 35. Is there any players that you think I've completely overlooked that I should be considering bringing in? In the meantime, we'll come back at you with a team selection before the deadline. So good luck with the rest of your game week 34, and I shall speak to you soon.